Here we go. There we go. I do not own the rights to any of this music. Let's get it together. Dropping sugar. Here we go. Let them come in. If you want, share this. This is going to be a long one today. Hi. Yes, shout out to her. I do not own the rights to this music, but I need something to relax me right now. Because, you know, emotions are high with everything that's going on. We're going to relax, we're going to relate, and we're going to release. And then I'll see y'all again next Tuesday. Hi! Everybody's coming in and stuff. If y'all would like to download this music, it's called Every Kind of Way by her. I just love her. Hi, everybody. Hi, Taji. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Andre. Hi, everybody that's coming in. I love you. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm a little late. Today. You know, life steps in sometimes. Auntie Jasmine, what's going on? Hi, everybody. I want to give a couple more seconds for, for this to, just to get the word out that I am on live. Yes, honey, I had to contour. I was sick of that forehead being out, so I had to contour that. I had to contour that. What is going on, everybody? Hi. My room is a mess. I'm up in my room today. Just so, we're talking about a lot of stuff today. So, I don't want any distractions and stuff like that. Hello, Trina. Hi, Diana. Hi, Daniela. Hi, everybody that is coming in. Share if you care. If you care about me, if you care about these topics that I'm talking about, please share around all of the things. Because I think this is important. For, for our community, how is anybody going to know what we want and how we want it if we don't open our mouths and speak? You know what I mean? So, and have dialogue within our community. That way we can tell people how we want things done. You know what I mean? We're going to be talking about a lot today. First off, we are going to be talking about, I know y'all all saw the picture. If you haven't seen the picture is on my page. It is with a young person who is identifying as a trans woman, basically dressed in a dress with like a shawl on, stockings, shoes, hair not together, very Caucasian white boy hairstyle. And, no makeup, not presenting, as someone who is going through a transition. The baffling part, was the fact that the person has a bulge, in this, person's dress. They have a bulge in their dress. Sitting there saying, hi, how you doing? What's going on? So I want to talk I want to get into that because we're going to talk about the word dysphoria and, how it applies to trans people, and, just how it applies to trans people and those who may see the glitz and glamour of what trans is. And they, either capitalize off of it, just to be heard or seen, whether it's to get a man, whatever the reason is, it's not an authentic reason. Basically, feeling uncomfortable in your own body. When I saw that bulge, that tells me that that is not a person that is uncomfortable in their body. You understand? That is the difference with trans people, trans men, and trans women, they are not comfortable to get on someone's national stage or platform with their junk hanging out. So we're going to be talking about that. Next, we're going to be talking about the state of Texas. There's a lot going on in Texas. We're going to break that down. We're going to talk a little bit about the man who was found guilty of assaulting Malaysia Booker. We're going to be talking about that a little bit. Also, why Texas leads statistics wise. Why Texas leads the statistics in trans murder and trans violence. India, yeah, the picture's on my page. The person is, apparently he's a part of the New York Democrats, speaking on a political platform. I don't mean to keep saying he, but if I see a bulge, I'm sorry. It's he to me. So, Amelia, the person's name is Amelia. Forgive me if I continue to misgender you, but you're on a political platform with your junk hanging out. So that's what that gives. You know what I mean? For the sake of this Trans Talk Tuesday. So, if that bothers you, then you need to up your presentation. Okay? Because, honey, they get on my case and oh, you're policing transitions and all of these other things. Honey, I don't have time for that. Now, last year, I don't know if a lot of you remember, about a year and a half ago, the whole entire non-binary community started attacking me because I wasn't validating them as trans people. So I had the whole community attacking me and all of that. And, it put me in a little depressive state. It brought me offline for a little bit. And I really didn't know how to handle it. But bitch, now... Now I got your ticket. I got your ticket now, because that's what we're not going to do. We are not going to make a buffoonery and clownery out of a journey that men and women have died for. We're not going to do that. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Texas, and we're also going to be talking about, should it be illegal to out somebody? We got a full show. We have a full show. But first and foremost, we're going to talk about this person that was standing on this stage with their bulge hanging out. That's what we're going to be talking about first. If you are sensitive, listen, and I'll be the first one to say, I don't have any problems with the non-binary community. It's just, bitch, be that. Be that. Advocate for that. You know what I mean? It's going to take a lot more than India Moore. It's no shade. It's going to take a whole lot more than India Moore to advocate for. You know what I mean? Like, every class of people has to have their part in their own revolution. Civil rights movement. You know what I mean? The ability for gays to get married. You know what I mean? They advocated for that. You know what I mean? The trans movement, that is our own. We advocate for that. So it has to be the same concept for the non-binary community. You cannot ride the coattails of trans men and women and calling it transitioning. It is not transitioning. Thank you, Tajir. It's not transitioning. It's just not. And now we have these umbrellas and everything is just meshed and together to the point where we can't appreciate each other's differences. Hey, Nicole. I love you, sister. Yeah, they do pick and choose. They most certainly do. Now, see, I don't see... Basically, what I am seeing is that people are basically saying they're trans just for the sake of being trans. Bitch, when it comes down to being like on the front line, sharing things, sharing articles, And all of this time, like all of these things, bitch, it's a freaking ghost town. Although, bitch, it's easy for you to say non-binary, bitch, when you can be motherfucking Sally on Monday, Tom on Tuesday, Wendy on Wednesday, Jack on Thursday, and Felicia on Friday. You are able to choose when you are able to blend or not. You have no problems with healthcare, employment, motherfuckers trying to kill you every moment of the day. These are the things that the trans community is going through. Nicole says 1 minute is that and next is this. Exactly. And what that tells me is that, bitch, that's confusion. That's an identity crisis, is what that is. When you're seesawing and things like that. I don't understand. Raymond says, yeah, the more they are visible, the more we will understand them, because I still don't totally understand them because they have nobody out there going, educating. As soon as you make an assumption about that community, they automatically get onto the defensive instead of educating. You understand? That is why that is. Dennis says, do you think non-binary is an intention-getting device? I do. Honestly. I do. I think it's a ploy to step away from what is normal. My opinion. There's men and women. Oh, child, I just don't feel like being neither. That is what that is. To me. And the reason why I think that way, because no one has educated me otherwise. And this has been going on for a while. So if there is nobody out there educating on this entire community, on what it feels like, you know what I mean, to give people an idea of what it is to be non-binary or gender non-conforming, then how is anybody supposed to know? What's going on, Adrian? I am not saying pick a side, because let me tell you something. I'm a heavy advocate for people can be whatever they want to be. I am just saying bring some education with it. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Because you can't get mad and automatically go on the offensive for someone being uneducated about a particular thing. Now, if they know and they still disrespect you, then that's disrespect. But if someone doesn't know how to address you, I mean, come on, it's your identification. So you want someone to identify you in the proper way. That is important. So if it's important, then maybe you should be educating people on how you want to be identified. I'm just saying. Hey, Prince. Trina, isn't that one of the things the community stands for? It's supposed to stand for that. It's supposed to. You know what I mean? However, but there's not enough education on what it is to be non-binary. So when things like that picture happen, it comes across as confusion. Because you're on your page saying address me as she, me, her. But yet you're on a stage on a political platform representing trans women with a bulge in your dress. Do you see how that can be confusing to most people? And listen, all them people saying, oh, well, you're bashing this person and blah, 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 and you don't understand this person, you're bashing this woman and all of that. Let me tell you something. Welcome to motherfucking being a trans person. Do you think that this person is the first person that's ever been bashed? Getting people to identify them in the right way? No. Because before you decided to be trans, just like a lot of other Caucasian trans people, you had privilege. Something that people of color do not have. You understand? You were walking off privilege. But now the fact that you want to become trans or start a transition, now you see how it is to be on the other side of things and be a part of a marginalized community. Mila says, yes, that's very confusing, and that's going to be a huge problem for the trans community. It is. It is. When you have a whole society of people that think that trans women are a bunch of men in dresses anyway, and then you identify as trans, and you get on a political platform with a bulge in your dress. My Newports are over there. So I gotta grab them, honey. So I don't get all, y'all know how I get. You know what I mean? It is. It is. And let me tell you something. It's the same dynamic, honey. When I was in motherfucking sex work, honey, I would have a client, honey, and usually after maybe about a year and a half, something like that, of me seeing them, bitch, they want to freaking go up in, honey. They want to put on the shoes and the panties and the bra and all of that. You know what I mean? This is shit that they want to do. There are many, many, many reasons why people become trans, okay? You have the ones that have always felt like that's who they were on the inside. And then you have the ones that were influenced. There's a lot of people that transition because of influence. Because they see it, therefore they want to be it. There's a lot of people out there that are like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if that is the case, that is the case. Do not identify as one thing and then present as another. It creates confusion. Dennis says, that's the next step we need to take in the LGBT community. Each of us has a different experience, face different challenges. Without education about each us letters, we will remain fragmented and exposed to dismantling of our rights by outsiders like the Orange Clown. Exactly. But let me tell you something. None of those letters that are up there, L, G, B, or T, can educate on what it is to be non-binary. We don't have that experience. We don't have, you know what I'm saying? We don't have that experience of what it is to be trans. See, this is why I don't wear bangs, honey, because I get hot easily. We don't have the experience of being non-binary. You know what I mean? Trans men and trans women live inside of the binary. We do. The trans stands for transition. Transitional man, transitional woman. See, and the thing about it is, I love the English language, because if you pay attention, you'll know what shit means. If you break your words down into syllables, know what definitions of things mean, and see shit, let me tell you something. Y'all new generation got it good, honey. Y'all can freaking go to Google, honey, or Bing, or Yahoo search, or whatever the fuck it is, bitch, and go get information on whatever the fuck it is you want. Red says, Dwight, people are far too often irresponsible with the privilege that they possess, not understanding how their choices impacted people without similar privilege. Exactly. Yes, Red. Thank you. Thank you for that. He says anything of confusion, not of God. Well, I mean, the cis community says the same thing about freaking gay people and trans people. You know what I mean? So, and the shade is none of us really know what is of God because we ain't never seen him. We don't got his freaking cell phone number. We don't even know if it's a he or a she or an it or an alien or whatever it is. You know what I mean? We don't know because we've never seen. We've never seen the creator, so we don't know. But a lot of people walk this earth acting like they do. That's another conversation. Hi, Naveed. What's going on? Kimberly says, didn't know it was possible, but yes, me by influence. Love myself, though, and the woman I'm becoming. Right, and you know what, Kimberly? I'm glad you said that because I'm not saying that anything, being trans is heavily, carries a heavy influence. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. Because that could be that your transition is the best thing that's ever happened to you. If it's for you. You know what I mean? And by you saying that, it lets me know that it's for you. But I'm talking about the people who it's not for that become influenced by it. And start a whole new life and change their life and lose their friends and lose their family and all of that because they was influenced by another bitch. For a fact that it was for something that was not even for them to begin with. Those are the people that I'm talking about. Mia says, we'll be killed one by one soon. We need drastic measures to rescue other trans from being slaughtered one by one. And that's a hard one, Mia, because it's happening everywhere. It's happening everywhere, whether it's in Kansas City, Missouri, or whether it's Texas, or whether it's, oh my gosh, the Carolinas. It's happening everywhere. It is happening everywhere. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. And mind you, a lot of this stuff is happening in places where they don't have organizations or access to resources. You know what I'm saying? That's where a lot of these murders are happening. So they have nobody they don't have nobody to fuck to turn to. Right. Thank you, Dennis. Yes. Non-binary, come out and teach us. Let us know how you want to be identified, how you present, show us how you present. That is how you get the ball rolling. Raymond says, bulges are for the bedroom. Thank you very much. I would be reading the same way if a cis man got up there, okay, and had tight ass pants or tight ass jeans and his freaking bulge was hanging down to his kneecaps. Although I'd be attracted to it, it would still be inappropriate for a political setting. It's no shade. Tennille says non-binary is an aesthetic, not an identity. And that is how, I feel the same exact way, Tennille. I feel the same exact way. Bella says, I was attacked literally by my whole family at 15. But after 3 years of cross-dressing, I had my mind made, and it wasn't easy, and it took so long for them to come around. Usually, families do. It takes a lot of time for families to come around. Some of them don't even come around. Some of them don't even come around. Michaela, what's going on? We are talking about that photo with the bulge. The battle of the bulges. That's what we're talking about. You know that child that had on the dress with the bulge hanging out. We're talking about that. Miss Amelia. Amelia I can't. Because it bothers me. It bothers me to refer to this person as her with a bulge in front of the person's dress. It bothers me. So I'm sorry. Sorry, but not fucking sorry, honey. Because I've been in my transition 27 years. I've seen people live for their transition and die for their transition. You understand? So to see that kind of dumbs down who we are as trans people. Dennis says, hi everybody that's coming in. Dennis says, that stunt in the dress felt expletive, goodness gracious, of the trans community, very manipulative. I agree. Because first of all, a bulge is a distraction from what the fuck you're trying to say. How are you on a political stage and you expect people to listen to you and take in what you're saying and everybody is redirected to your bulge? Apparently, it was like a New York Democrat event. This person is supposed to be like the youngest trans person on the New York Democratic Committee. And I guess this person was on stage speaking. Whoever just said good morning, afternoon. What's going on, Jarrell? Alexandria says, non-binary people just don't care for stereotypes. He didn't want to be called him or her. He's non-binary. This world is so unjust. I feel that has nothing. But see, the thing about it is, if you go on this person's Facebook page, it clearly says my pronouns are she, me, and her. So, but presenting as something that's cross-dressing or non-binary, that is what's confusing. Do not adopt the trans woman stamp if that's what you're not presenting that. You're not presenting something that's in the binary. But you want to identify as something in the binary. It doesn't balance out. Right, and non-binary or not, honey, there's no need for a bulge in a dress at a political freaking event. What's going on? Oh, I'm sorry I went through a little difficulty there. But we're back. But what I'm saying is, like, even a cis woman with a golf ball in her panties, honeys, and is sitting there in a dress, bitch, and you can see the golf ball there. Bitch, that's not appropriate at a political event. And all the excuses, oh, she didn't know how to dress, and why are you bashing this woman? Bitch, motherfucking hogwash. Motherfucking hogwash. Bitch, I don't want to fucking hear it. There are so many fucking resources out there. That child couldn't be no more than maybe 22, 23 years old. Bitch, there's resources out there for that. Where you can be presentable. Bitch, from wigs to breastplates to fashion to everything for the trans community nowadays. I don't want to hear it. Like, come on. I don't want to hear it. If you're non-binary, okay, that's fine. There still shouldn't be a bulge in your dress. Raymond says being over-sexualized is going to divert anyone's attention. Even as a man, if I want serious attention, I'm not going to show a bulge. Right, that is my point. Even for a cis man, gay man, or whatever. A freaking gay man ain't going to freaking get on a political stage in a jockstrap. Hello, goodbye, hello again. A gay man is not going to get up there in a freaking jockstrap. Advertising for pride, bitch, at a political event. See, and this is where the real complicated. This is where the real complicated shit comes in. This is where the real complicated shit comes in, though. All of this shit where we're talking about, oh, if I feel trans, therefore I am trans. If I feel like a trans woman, therefore I am a trans woman. Bitch, let me tell you something, bitch. I feel like a motherfucking police officer, a firefighter, a construction worker, okay, a lawyer, a judge. I feel like all these things, but bitch, if I don't take the motherfucking steps to be these things, bitch, I'm not that. Sorry. Sorry to burst your bubble. Sorry. There is a journey and a process that is required if you're transitioning from one gender to another. Let me say this again. Hi, Richard. Oh my gosh, Michaela, and that's what makes me upset. Let me scroll back. That's what makes me upset. Michaela says, but cis people like them non-binary / drags to speak on trans issues because they understand they, for whatever reason, choose not to understand us. Exactly. But what people need to realize is that all of these things are different and we need to appreciate each other's differences. I have 40 people in here. I should have 40 shares. It's no shade, because this is where the confusion comes in at. And we, not just me, but we as a community have to set people straight that within our community, we have different things and all different flavors. We are not just vanilla, nor are we Neapolitan. That's what people are trying to do to the trans community. Make us motherfucking Neapolitan when we're all in one motherfucking canister together. That is not the case. Bitch, we got motherfucking Rocky Road, Banana Split, Chocolate Chunky Chocolate, bitch. We got all these different flavors within our community, bitch. So if a person is non-binary, whatever that looks like, present as that. But don't identify as something else. With this thing. That's why I hate coming up here. Like a girl on the inside and looking like a boy on the outs, wanting to label us as one. Exactly. Exactly. If there is no process, and listen, or transition, but you have to have a start, a middle, and an end. There is a process in anything in this world, not just transitioning. Bitch, when you start working at McDonald's, bitch, do you start off at the top? Bitch, no, you start off cleaning up. And then you graduate the fries, bitch. Then you're flipping burgers. Then after that, bitch, you on time and doing everything that you got to do, bitch, you bumped up to assistant manager. Then manager. Then district manager. Bitch, there is a fucking process and a journey through anything that you have to do, bitch. I don't care what the fucking feeling is. I don't care what the feeling is. A feeling is just a feeling. A feeling is retained on the inside unless you express it on the outside. That is what makes it fact. I'm just saying. I am just saying. Hi, Alicia. Love you, love you, love you. Brandon says, I just don't want to see anyone's balls. Bitch, neither do I, especially the shade is, if I'm not in that setting, I don't want to see nobody's balls either. The only time I want to see balls is if I'm in a setting like a strip club or something, bitch, where it calls for that. Bitch, not at a political fucking, event. Okay? Bella, if you're unable to share it, I will, when the video is over, I'll tag you in it, and then you should be able to share it from there. Adrian says, it's got to be for attention with these millennials, because remember India Moore says she was non-binary at one point when clearly she presented as a woman. That is another wonderful example. Exactly. And mind you, I haven't heard shit from her since. I've seen her at all of these award shows presenting as the most gorgeous woman in freaking America, and haven't said anything about the education of non-binary at all. All you see is photo after photo after photo after photo after photo. Pose, pose, poses, poses, and more poses. But nothing about the education on what it is and what it feels like to be non-binary. Bella says, feeling like a woman and looking like a man. Grace was preaching that. And see, the thing about it is, bitch, a transition a transition is not like motherfucking secret deodorant, bitch. Strong enough for a man, but pH balanced like a woman. Feeling like a woman and thinking like a man. Think like a man, look like a woman. Like, come on, like all of these things to where it just creates conflict. Because if you don't have an idea or you do not respect the binary and want to live outside that, that is fine. That is fine. That is fine if you do not conform to society's idea of gender. That is fine. But bitch, don't identify with the binary while presenting non-binary. What fucking sense does that make? What kind of sense does that make? Like, bitch, and the thing about it is, I'm never gonna know unless I'm educated on the subject. I'm never gonna know. Y'all are never gonna know. You know what I'm saying? Like, really. Jasmine says, but don't disrespect the rest of us by calling yourself trans. You cannot call yourself trans if there's no transition. What the fuck do people think that trans stands for? It is a prefix. I'm going to take y'all back to freaking 3rd grade. Trans is a prefix. Trans, transition, transitional man, transitional woman. All of which are inside of the binary. That is why when they created this umbrella of transgender, it makes absolutely no sense. Because you're shoving agender and non-binary and all of these things under that umbrella when they're not transitioning into anything. You know why? Because they have they do not respect and conform to the idea of the binary. That is why. That is why. You understand? That is why. They don't respect the binary. So why the hell are you identifying with that? If you don't respect it. Braxton says, well, you know, people learn different in 2019. That's obvious. That is so obvious, baby, because I'll be looking at some of this stuff and I'll be like, bitch, where is the common of the sense, bitch? Where is the common of the sense? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, 2019, cursive isn't even taught anymore, so I'm not surprised the lack of understanding of what trans means. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't identify, like, when you identify with something, you identify as that. You know what I'm saying? Trina says, question, how should a non-binary look? From what I've seen among social media with those who identify as non-binary, it's very, to me, I don't know because I'm not non-binary and I don't want to jump the gun here from what I've seen as far as how non-binary people present themselves, it's very the exact same thing as androgynous. It's very looking, balancing, like in the middle. You know what I mean? Like directly in the middle of the scales, like very like balancing and blurred lines of masculine and feminine. But in the 90s, we called it androgynous. That's what we called that. So it's basically that turned into a different term. And a non-binary to me is something mental. Not nothing that translates into the physical. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't translate. Hi Brian, I saw you were on here. I love you. You know what I'm saying? Braxton says, how about we stop coming up with new words? I still don't even know what demisexual means. Does that have something to do with Demi Moore? This is too much. Oh my gosh. I need y'all to go on Google and type in like the flags and stuff like that. There's like, I think like 50 fucking flags. Every other day there's a new thing talking about, oh bitch, it's freaking A gender day or B gender day or C gender day. Or, you know, it's disgusting. It is disgusting. And mind you, all these people want pride for things and they're not even fucking visible. Where are all the motherfucking agender people at? Where are they at? To me, that's not even a community of people, bitch, living in the fucking shadows. Where are the demisexual people at? Why the fuck do y'all need a flag for? If y'all are not present in our community. Y'all aren't even present and don't even go through and you're not even fucking marginalized. Bitch. You're not even marginalized. See, I'm getting hot. Whew. I'm going to just read some comments real quick. Hold on. Because I'm getting hot. All this talking in here. My bang is all sweated out. Woo. I'm C-sexual, cheek. Woo! Yeah, honey. I'm gonna be playing with this daggone bang the whole live. But that's alright. But that's what I'm saying, bitch. You're not even marginalized. What the fuck you need a flag for? What do you need independence from? You understand? What the fuck do you need independence from to the point to where you need a fucking flag? I hope that ain't loud, but I need some air. I had to turn the air conditioner on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck do you need independence from that you need your own flag? Bitch, people of color, bitch, have been struggling, bitch, for centuries, bitch, and we don't even have our own flag. Get into that shade. There's a flag for everything the fuck else. Where's the flag for people of color? You know what I'm saying? Where's the flag for people of color? You know what I'm saying? Child, please. I can't take it. Hold on. like for real. I can't I can't take it. I can't take it. I can't take people freaking piggybacking off of a freaking struggle that you've never had to fucking experience. Hello. Goodbye. Hello again. I can't take people trying to piggyback off of a struggle that you've never experienced. Shalice says, let's switch the subject real quick to make you calm. Oh, yeah, because I get hype. When are you going to come out as Icon? Me and Ambi again. Well, I was thinking about maybe making a small appearance at the Icon Ball, which is going to be in Philadelphia on 1/11 of 2020. Just to give you all a little commercial real quick. You know what I'm saying? The POC is the people of color flag is black, red, and green. I mean, I know. Let me see. Those colors, I see those colors in Africa. I see those colors in, let me see. No, that's yellow. Yeah, I see those colors in Africa, but nothing has never been made freaking national for us to have a flag here in the United States. Not never. Not never. That is the African American flag, not the POC flag. Okay. Yes, that has been two origins. Right. Hey, Naomi, what's going on? What's going on? My sister Naomi is here. My sister Naomi is here. And if you don't know, she has Gabbing with the Girls. That comes on. Please stay tuned. Naomi, post in the comments when that comes on, and I will let everybody know. James Thompson asked me, do I have a boyfriend? No, I do not have a boyfriend. And this is about trans issues, not about my personal life. Because I'm not on here for Facebook for that. Okay, babes. Hi, yes. What's going on? Miss Von D. Yeah, so you know, this is what I'm saying though. Like, the bottom line is for this whole, because I'm gonna move on, but the whole bottom line for this thing, for this particular subject, is if you want someone to identify, you know, how you identify yourself, okay? How you identify yourself, whatever you identify as, I don't care what that is, as long as that makes you as an individual happy. Okay? As long as it makes you as an individual happy, I don't care what you identify as. But have your presentation match how you want to be identified. For whatever it is. Naomi just posted her information about her videos in the comments. So, you know, you can click that, paste that, copy that, and all that. Braxton says, on a serious note, how you identify does not give you a pass to be inappropriate. No, it does not. Absolutely not. It sure doesn't. The red, black, and green RBG flag is a Pan-American flag, not African-American. I mean, I mean, as far as me, I never saw a people of color flag, an African-American flag. Never. We've got flags for everything else. Bitch, there's flags for pedophiles, bitch, and not flags for people of color. Like, what the fuck here? I mean, it's disgusting that the world, everybody wants to be respected, but no one wants to give respect. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, how you identify is how you should present. I don't know what's so hard about that. Yes, Braxton, they do. Yes, they do. It's so fucking unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. But if you identify with something, anything, like, bitch, if I motherfucking identify as a motherfucking rock, bitch, I'm going to motherfucking present as a motherfucking rock. Hello, goodbye, hello again. If I identify and feel like a motherfucking piece of cheese, bitch, I'm going to want to motherfucking present as that piece of cheese that I feel like. Bitch. Like, no. No, I understand that non-binary people and those people that like wear long hair and all this makeup and beards and stuff want to change people's perceptions of what gender is. But, bitch, that's not trans. So get trans out of your mouth, because that's not what that is. Right, it's an oxymoron. Amber Crombie says, how you a non-binary woman? You're not. You know why? Because woman is in the binary. You see what the fuck I'm saying? Woman, the word woman is inside of the binary. So why are you saying that you're non-binary, just something that's in the binary? It makes absolutely no sense. Oh my gosh, Key. Hey, Key. Please do not get me started on that freaking symbol off of the freaking pads. Please do not get me started on that. Because I did not want to talk about that. But baby, they're taking the female symbol off of pads. Why? Bitch, why are you taking the female symbol off of pads? For what? For what purpose? Bitch, one person complained about that. Bitch, and they changed the symbol on their packaging. For what? For one person complaining? Bitch, I wish the trans community could get services that quick. I wish gay people could get services that quick. I wish HIV positive people could get services that quick. Yes, Amber. If you don't like always, you could always go to Tampac. That's right. That's right. I can't fucking take it. I cannot fucking take it. I can't take it. Like, bitch, for what? First of all, if there are trans men out there, I don't really want to talk about y'all experiences too much, but there are trans men out there that go through, you know, menstruals and stuff like that, or butches or studs that go through menstruals like that. I can kind of see how they would, you know, take the female off of there. That would be the only freaking reason, but overall, you know, you didn't need to bother that. Wasn't nobody really offended by that? It was one motherfucking person on Twitter that was offended by that. Did you have to completely erase all of that? No. No. Adrian says that's like saying I'm a white woman when I clearly present as a bearded 6'3", 280-pound black man. Right. Right. You know what I mean? But however you want to, we're in an age now, however you want to identify, you should be able to present. But that does not include having a bulge in the middle of your dress. Jasmine says, my non-binary friend told me that all that wearing makeup and beards is called gender fuck. Right. Call it for what it is. It's not trans. It's not being a trans woman. Hell no. How do you feel about Barbie and her new collection of inclusiveness? Oh yeah, I don't know, and I haven't really had a chance to decide on that yet. The inclusiveness is okay, I guess, if you can actually use these things to explain to children the different types of people that are out there. That's a good thing. Now the whole freaking Rosa Parks Barbie that's out and stuff like that, I don't know how the fuck I feel about that. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Keith says, I mean, only women menstruate, but motherfuckers want to be so different so bad and complain that they're being tested different. Oh my God. You ate that so terribly. You ate that so terribly because that's exactly what the fuck people do, bitch. That is exactly what the fuck people do. Bitch, everybody wants to be a motherfucking individual until they're bashed for being an individual, and then they want to fucking scream discrimination. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Naomi. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense. People want to say, oh, I want to be an individual, I want to stand on my own, da 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 da, and then they see what that brings, and they be like, oh, you know, you're discriminating, blah 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 blah. You ain't got to tell me nothing but a word. She's already gone. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, please. Yeah, gender neutral, androgynous, non-binary. They're different words that mean the same motherfucking thing. Different definitions that mean the same fucking thing. Gender non-conforming. It all means the same shit. Like, what the hell? Yeah, I did already, Naomi. That child's going. You know, I don't go. You know, I don't go for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Yes, Key, I heard about Gender X, that they're going to be... But the thing about it is, Key, get into the freaking shade of this. How they're going to be doing... I know Washington does it, and a few more... And Wintour, androgyny is a style. And you know what, Wintour? So is freaking... For me, like, gender neutral, non-binary, all of that is a style, too. In my opinion. That like the fact that you want to identify as a group of people and not one singular person, it baffles me. It fucking baffles me. But yeah, getting back to Key and Gender X, I know that they're starting to do it in like X Gender or whatever it is in Washington and like a few other states. Bitch, what the fuck happens, bitch, where you go to a state, bitch, that does not respect or respect Gender X? What happens if you travel, bitch? Say if you're going from Washington to Montana, bitch. Say if you go from Washington to Montana, bitch, and you get over to Montana, stay a couple days and want to come back. Bitch, and they see that motherfucking ID, bitch, and don't fucking respect it. And decide to detain your ass until they find out who you really are. Hold on. Aaron Lashley says, I hear non-binaries talking about they are trans, but they don't want to do hormones or get any surgery. I'm like, child, get on with that somewhere else. Yeah, the thing about it is transition is going from one point to another. The fact that they're talking about that they're under the transgender umbrella, no, bitch. Because you're not transitioning into anything. There is no journey for you but getting up every day and putting on clothes. You're presenting as neither one. You have no respect or you have no, you don't conform to the ideas of gender. You don't conform to them. So you're not transitioning anything. There is no process. There is no journey. Honestly. Raymond, serious question. Is it possible to create another gender? See, that all depends. That is a big wide open question, because there are so many people that still have the idea that gender and sexuality are the same fucking thing. There's so many people that still think this. Now, there are many people that argue that say that you have men and women, and then trans men and trans women together create a third gender. Now, if anything, I'm kind of like leaning towards that. You know what I mean? In my personal opinion. You know what I mean? You have cisgender men and women, and then you have trans men and trans women. You know what I mean? So, you know, if anything, it would be that. But an overall third, like, gender, like, a lot of this shit is, like, in people's brains. Like, it's all in their head. Like, bitch, I feel non-binary, but, bitch, I don't know how I want to motherfucking present, bitch. I want to fucking, you know, I want to put on a dress with my meat hanging so everybody can freaking look at it. That's what the fuck I want to do. And see, and then there's other views like Key. There isn't a possibility. I feel like, I mean, really, male and female, you still either have a vagina or a dick. Now, the thing about that is that even if you are a trans man and trans woman, You know what I mean? It's still in the binary of man and woman. So I don't know if trans men, see, there's two different views. Either trans men and trans women together create another gender, or like Keith said, that whether you're transitioning into a man or transitioning to a woman, you're still living in the binary of man and woman. So there's different. I love it. And you know what I mean? That's why, and this is the kind of shit that I think about. You know what I mean? I'm a thinker. So you know what I mean? So that's a good perception, Key. You know what I mean? There's different ways of looking at it. Right. You also have intersex people. You also have intersex. Yup. You also have intersex people. Raymond says, I am confusion. I just see trans women as women and trans men as men. You know what I mean? And that is what the binary is. Whether cis or trans, that is the binary of man and woman. Now, all of these people that are straddling the fence, they need to come out and educate on what it is to feel and be non-binary. Right. And that's how I feel at this point, is that it's gender confusion. Gender confusion and gender delusion. Right, Michaela. And you know, I kind of like battle with this a lot too, because you know, is trans the third gender? Right. Oh my gosh, these comments are coming so fast. These comments are coming so fast. Oh my gosh. Did y'all hear there was a story of a drag queen that did drag queen hour at a library for children, and he had a record of sexually assaulting kids. So there are a lot of people that use that drag queen and use that trans as a way in. So these are the reasons why we have to stick together as a community and be like, bitch, this is trans and this is fucking not. You understand? This is trans and this is not. Because of shit like that. Wintour says, I will speak on GNC. It is literally just a feeling. I'm not using it as a gender. I use it as a feeling. Thank you, Wintour. Thank you. Because you just gave the 50 people on here insight. You know what I mean? And it might not be the case for everybody, but you educated, people that are on here and gave them insight on what that is. Why can't they just leave kids out of it, period? Like, yeah, it's insane. It's insane. It is insane. How many people do I have on here now? I have 58 people on here. I want 58 shares, please. There is a lot of education on this live. People in these comments who are giving education. You know what I mean? This is very, very important. You know what I mean? And pivotal, to us as a community. Because you can't be offended by somebody who doesn't really know. How you going to be offended if you haven't taught them on what it is? You know what I mean? And the respect. You know what I mean? How are you going to, you can't get offended, bitch, if somebody doesn't know. Yes, Naomi, yes. Naomi says they aren't doing nothing but confusing the straight community about trans people. Exactly. Let me tell y'all something. Do you know that the majority of people associate being trans with Caitlyn Jenner? when there were bitch boatloads of trans people before that child. Boatloads of people before that child decided to transition her sex. People who paved the way in our community. Bitch, and you want to give that child the credit? Like, come on. Come on. You need to get yourself some motherfucking knowledge. Okay? You need to inhale some knowledge into your cerebellum, bitch. Okay? Like, seriously. Khalik says we need to have these talks more in our community. Educate. I do. I'm only one person. I try to get here on every Tuesday that I can. To the 45 people that are in here, this is Trans Talk Tuesday presented by Trans Information. Trans Information has a Facebook page. Head over to the Trans Information Facebook page and like it and share it to anybody who needs resources or education about the trans community. If you are feeling generous, you can head over to bit.ly/trans information with a capital T and put in a small minimal donation. That keeps me going as a nonprofit. You know, it's very, 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 very important because that is how I keep this knowledge going. You know what I mean? I can't help y'all unless y'all help me. It's a joint effort. It's a team effort. Bing, bang, boom. You know what I mean? But yeah. Winter says that's mostly due to them openly expressing at a public setting. And I would talk to the drag girls over that because they pump in the daytime drag confusing the heteros. Yeah, well. Right. Yes, Naomi. Definitely because she's white. People fail to realize that, bitch, you're coming from a place of privilege. You are talking from a place of privilege. Yes. Of course you can. Is that your thing? Yes, it is. I'm getting ready to bring Nicole on, my sister. I'm getting ready to bring her on right now. I already know how we get down. If you don't know how we get down, share this live. She is getting ready to show you down. There's my sister right there, gorgeous, my Libra sister. I love you with your crown tilted to the side, how it's supposed to be. Good afternoon, my sister.
Good afternoon. So here's the question. I have a big problem when I say earlier, pick a side, because, for example, we have a job description. The job description says we are looking for trans women who are experiencing community work or whatever. And the gender binary or the non-conforming individual who don't identify with trans women somehow is able to identify it for the fact of being able to get a job. For certain reasons and certain things, they'll pick up the trans woman identification, and for other reasons and reasons to attack, because they attack us brutally, they will drop it and pick up the binary thing. And so I think that all boils down to really picking a side, because then it does confuse people and how they think about it and what they think about it. So if you see me, like, for example, the person you said that had a bulge, is that a trans woman or is that a binary woman? I mean, a binary or a non-conforming person who doesn't feel that they have to do all of that and they don't have to tuck their meat and they don't, what's the name? But we know living as a trans woman, that's a problem. And I am not walking around with bulges in my pants. That's not what I'm supposed to, because my gender dysphoria does not allow me to do that. It doesn't allow me. It'll mess me up, like, oh my God, and I will feel so comfortable some type of way. And so I've always felt like, first of all, for so many years, they have placed us in a box and not understanding what trans is. And so many times they have put us up with MSMs. And years ago, they would count us as an MSM. And for them to finally give us a trans individual spot, to be really honest, a whole bunch of other things were created after that. As soon as we got our individuality, a whole bunch of other things were created. And the real sickening part about it is, you said this earlier, but it's true. And I think it was because Caitlyn had such a public transition that everyone brought transitioning and trans women to what they seen Caitlyn present and do. And Kate, before Caitlyn was here, and I remember doing many lives about that before, like, there were trans people and trans women suffering and gagging and going through so many things way before Caitlyn Jenner and her privilege came about. Like, let's think about that. And the reason why Caitlyn transition was so loud and publicized is because of her money. And so the unfair thing, I believe, and I don't have a problem with gender binary people or gender non-conforming people. I think everyone is entitled to be who they are and and live in your own skin. I applaud that. But what I do have a problem with is the pick and choosing when to be us and when not. And then when you choose to represent us as a trans woman, you represent us with bulges and hair on your face, or really, really, really deep, deep voices. And another thing I want to just bring up really quickly is, that's why that passable thing is such an issue. We come from a place where we lived around black people in the hood, in the ghetto, and our thing was to be passable. We wanted to be able to blend in. It had nothing to do with how other people felt or saying anything about anybody. But yet and still, the conversation about passable is so aggressive when being brought to the table or when being spoken about. And I never understood that. Why is it a problem, Niambi, if I want to be passable? Why is it a problem if my focus is me being able to blend? And how am I disrespecting, disregarding, or putting down someone who isn't?
Exactly. And one of my biggest issues is the big ball of automatically jumping to the defensive when it's just us not being educated on what that is. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like any little thing that you might say, it's like automatically viewed as an attack. When it's not an attack.
About it before. I remember I told you in Albany, I went and I didn't know, and they said we were a trans. This is where we would talk about trans women issues and stuff. And so the table, everybody's around the table, and I have the mic, and I said, when you finish, pass it to her, pass it to her, pass it to her. Oh my God, the way the person jumped at me and started laying down demographics, telling me that there are more of them than there is of us. And all I kept saying was, hold up, wait. I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by that. I didn't know. But they were so upset. And all I could be doing is like, oh my God, this is not the way I wanted the energy to go. But she was really upset. And I think that's a huge problem, because what does society look at us and think about now? They see us as the bulge on the stage,
especially from a political standpoint. This person is the youngest trans person on the New York Democratic Committee. So you are on a stage in a public platform representing trans women, because on their Facebook page they identify as she, me, her. Mm-hmm. Not with a bulge in your dress, you don't.
Right. Somebody said I'm able to be passable with.
Oh, hold on. What happened here? Oh, there we go. Tennille, I definitely am coming to you next after Nicole. Definitely, I'm bringing you on. But yeah.
That was
Hi, Nicole.
Yes, what's going on?
20 million people. Yes.
You go. Yes.
Are you here?
Yes.
Okay, because I have Drew up front. I wanted you to provide him with like an orient. I know you met with him already, but
you have been blocked, honey.
In preparation for him to be with Kiki next week. Hold on for a second. Yes,
girl.
Okay, I'll come and see you in a second.
okay.
So it's always been mind-boggling to me, and you know the conversation is so forbidden that
Right.
you know you can't express your opinion, and it's so unfortunate that they come into this with so much aggressiveness,
Right.
as if we're supposed to know or supposed to be educated on something we just do not know about. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just it's just a thing where it's just so defensive. It was like it felt like nearly the whole community jumped on my back when I was, and it was just the simple fact that I was just not aware. But mind you, I'm going to say this to the 64 people on here. You and
No,
or non-binary community.
people behind. I'm not saying that. It's why is it always looked at? I'm not saying that so you leave them behind. So they're not. No, I can walk with an unpassable person anytime I want. That's not the case. But is that the way I choose to live? No, maybe I want to be passable for my own personal reasons. Why am I not entitled to have that without someone being offended? Like I'm saying, leave the unpassable people behind.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. First of all, people, again, I'm going to say it again. It does not matter where you are in your transition. Okay? It does not matter where you are in your transition. It's that there is a transition and a process, especially if you want to identify for something that's in the binary. If you want to identify as man or woman, no matter if you're transitioning to one, you know what I mean? If you're transitioning into one, whether it's man or woman, you are transitioning into something that is located inside of the binary. If you choose to live outside of the binary, identify and present as that, whatever it is.
Right.
That is all I'm saying. You are not going to say she, me, her, and have a bulge with a dress on, speaking on trans women issues like you've experienced that. Because that's all I'm saying. And where the thing about it is, I think
if you're not passable, that doesn't mean that you're less of a woman. It doesn't mean that you're not a woman. That does not mean that at all. It's that I may have chose to do that and to be that way because of the lifestyle I live or where I live at or who I live with. And I think that's all about a choice. Now, if some people aren't warranted that same choice, I get that. I get that. And in any way I can help, I would. But to say I'm supposed to just go by how their terms and what they do, high grants and all that. It's not, that's wrong. That's wrong. You're telling me to stop my life, stop me how I live, stop doing it because the next person is not, and I should do it because, no, I'm not saying I'm better than them either. I'm saying that that's what I chose to do, and that's how I chose to live my life because I had a child. And I didn't want my child to go to school and have to go through issues and stuff like that. So there was a lot of reasons why Nicole needed to be passable. I was scared going up in that school. In the third grade, I didn't want them to come at Keontae or be asking her questions. I didn't want her to have to deal with that type of stigma. So being passable was very important. I had a child and still have children.
Right. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, this is what I had said as I was thinking to myself earlier before I came on here. Let me, Ambi, drive that child and sit her in the middle of the Bronx, bitch, and have her walk 6 blocks. By that freaking 3rd block, bitch, you will know what it is to try to attempt to be trans. Or take her to West Philly and drop her on 52nd Street. You will know what it's like to be trans. These people that are doing this shit to you online, bitch, that ain't even scratched the surface of what the fuck we go through, bitch.
No.
So all of this coddling and babying her and babying this person, saying, oh, well, she's a woman and da-da-da. No, bitch, bitch, walk the walk if you're going to talk the talk.
Right. Thank you. I just wanted to come to this. I think that is just really unfair. I think it's unfair that you can't compensate about it. You see, you even mentioned the word passable. People misinterpret. They take it all the wrong way. And I think it's those people who can't really do it. Instead, they are mad and bitter about it. And they shouldn't be. They should understand that that's not their story and that they should move on and make their story however it is so that it's comfortable for them, not judging people and thinking that other people are judging them. No, you have to be comfortable for yourself. Nicole chose to be passable because Nicole had children. And I needed to go to school. And I needed to do a lot of different things. And I didn't want my children to have to experience that. That's not wrong. And I'm not saying that the other girls that are not passable, I don't be bothered with them, or I don't. That's not true because I'm with them all the time. But it's my fault, my personal life. And then when it comes down to these, the new identifications that are under the umbrella of transgender, I think it's like real fucked up too, because when we get the chance to be trans women, now we have a whole bunch of fluid things that kind of like blurs the line with heterosexual people or society, period, and they think that we are like them, or that we all represent the same way, and we don't.
No, and we don't. And they need their own space. They need their own space.
Yes.
Point blank, period. Yes. They need their own space. We had to fight and claw and do all the different things just to achieve our individuality. They need to do the same thing.
I always believe, I think that's the best way. So
hold on.
That's the best way. All right, thank you.
All right, I love you, Nicole. You enjoy the rest of your day, my Libra sister. I love you.
All right, Bobby.
All right, bye-bye. Nicole, always a pleasure talking to her. It's 59 people. It's been steady on this live. Share this live. There is another wonderful young lady on that is going to speak to you, about her experiences and things like that. And to Neil, where you at? Hopefully you already sent me a request. Daughter, I'm going to bring you in after Tennille. I don't know. I don't see Tennille, send me a request if you're still on the live. If not, I'm going to go to my daughter and bring her on. Braxton says I'm going to get into some comments first. While I am getting the requests together. Winter says, with authentic GNC people, it's about the way. My view, how one gender can do XYZ and another can't. They want or go through all of them. But I feel we gladly should have more talks about it because, wait a minute, I lost my place. Because androgyny is a style. Transplant, fluid, non-binary GNC is a mindset and or a sexuality, a thing. And it all varies on the reasons why. You know what I mean? It all starts in our mentality. You know what I mean? It all starts in our mentality, and then we choose whether to bring it to fruition or not. You know what I'm saying? We choose that. Braxton says, someone in another group of cisgender women said, I signed up as a trans because I weighed in on the maxi pad issue. See, this is what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, hold on. You're a lucky girl. Hi, Michael. Love you. You sent it? Yes, you did. I'm getting ready to bring you on now. I'm bringing on to Neil. Everybody, welcome to Neil. Her and welcome her to the live. Where is my trans sister? Turn it. Hey, girlie.
What's up, Niambi?
What is going on, my love?
Girl, nothing. So my thing is, this conversation always goes to passing and non-passing when it's very much bigger than that. I had a conversation with a girlfriend about a couple weeks ago, and I was telling her to think about passability is it only matters as long as they don't know your service. Because the moment a lot of people find out your service, then they'll treat
you a whole different way.
They romanticize what it means to be passable, and they think that people are trying to force.
Wait a minute.
Well, I was telling a girlfriend, like, look at what happened with Tracy Africa. Tracy Africa was real down, modeling career.
Yeah. And that it didn't matter.
If you look at what happened with Malaysia Booker, the one that was murdered down in Texas,
yes.
When that whole apartment complex knew her tea, they didn't care how real she was. They didn't care how much the mom.
Come on, Tennille. Come on.
They was finding her like a piece of trash. So that passability thing is a very thin ice. The thing with trans people is what they don't understand with the gender non-conforming girls is with dysphoria.
That
a
is
lot
the
of people feel that how can you feel internally this way and present another way?
Come on,
and what a lot of the gender non-conforming girls have to realize is
wait a minute. I don't know if that's hold on. I think we're getting a connection. We might have to move around a little bit. I don't know if it's you or me.
It's probably me. So the thing is, if you present one way, that could be triggering to other trans folks. Because say it's Terry Crews, Terry Crews, the big black guy. If Terry Crews come in the room and say, I am woman, hear me roar, and Niambi come in the room and they say, you two go over there, that'll make Niambi like, oh shit, so you saying this is what I look like? I got this arm, I got this shoulder, I got this and the third. So it's not coming from a place of vanity, but also it's layered because it's like, why are we all being pushed together when it is a difference? Some people who do choose to medically and or surgically alter themselves. So because my thing is with the whole trans umbrella is it clumped a whole lot of people that normally would not have been together. And it came from it came from outside the community. You had people within universities and intellectual circles who said, you know what, we're going to take this definition without the community's consent, and we're going to put the drag queen, the cross-dresser, the transvestite, we're going to put them all together under this umbrella.
Right.
And that wasn't fair.
Right.
And I said, just like, within communities of color, we have this one drop rule where if you had one black parent and you had 25 white or non-black parents, you was automatically black because of that one white parent. Within the trans community, now we have adopted our own one drop rule where you only need one article of clothing or one piece of something to say now you are trans. And that wasn't fair because it's like, okay, I don't have to change this, I don't have to change that, but I have mascara. Therefore, I am woman, hear me roar.
Woo!
And have this conversation with people, then they make it about, oh, well, you just want me to be passable. Passability is the thing that many of us won't achieve. When you post pictures of your...
Oh, I knew she was going to eat it.
So it was in your genes that if you did transition, those hormones just release what would have already happened had you been cis.
Yes.
Passability is not something everybody... Passability, there is hood passability, there is European, bitch, there is different levels of passability.
Yes, there is.
And girls adapt to the environment.
Yeah.
And you have to adapt to your environment. So we're not telling other people to pass. But the thing is, if you present this way and you don't feel any dysphoria around your face, your body, your shape, your genitalia, are you trans? And should you use the word transition?
No.
Meaning I went from one thing to the next when all I did was put on an article.
An article of clothing. Yeah.
And it's so funny because Mariah Lopez, when she did a little live yesterday, she was talking, and it was stuff like, we had our own language. We had our terms for this long before the academians came and said, this is what you call it.
Right.
So when I was coming up, when the early 2000s, they had drag queens, but you knew girls were just a butch queen up in Geesh, or it was a girl or they would call her 24 hour. Right. I didn't know about the transgender word. You knew if a girl was 24 hour, you knew she was different than the butch queen up in Geesh.
Right.
You knew she was different than just the androgynous, just the cunty one. So at that time, we had a language, and then I'm starting to see a lot of them attribute passability to ballroom. I've been seeing a lot of shade. Some category, but the thing is, don't try to destroy ballroom, because ballroom saved a lot of lives.
Right, yeah.
Pageant saved a lot of lives. Yeah. Ballroom and the pageant circuit created a culture for us. So when you come in not understanding the culture of who we are as Afro, just know everything. I'm going to change it up, because for generations after generations, in terms and stuff were passed down. Just like you had gay mothers, gay fathers, all this, we came from a history of people. So for a person to come in, a young person to come in and say, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. The way y'all did everything was archaic and wrong. Right. And now we're going to switch up. Right. Because basically everything that y'all had was all deeper than that. Yeah. Because when I found a lot of these terms and stuff are created by young people who have the knowledge but don't have the life experience to accompany the knowledge. And I don't see a person 60 years old saying, I'm a 60-year-old X. At some point, conformity is something we all go through in some shape or form. Either you're going to be a 60-year-old man or a 60-year-old woman. I don't see nobody really out here 60. I see a lot of young people who have yet to enter into the world and had those real life experiences to really shape that coddle. You have a lot of enablers that say it's okay if the gender non-conforming people can throw on any and everything, but other people, we have to abide by standards and rules.
Right. And none of that shit is fair. You know what I mean?
And everything, that's not fair. Yeah. When there's, like you said, when you come through the door at McDonald's, when you come through the door with any and every other place in life, there are levels.
That's right.
I don't want to go through the levels or change. But if you do not choose to grow or change, life and life circumstances will make you change. Just like with Nicole. Nicole may not want it to be passable, but life circumstances, when she had Miss Keontae, said, bitch, either you're going to do it for you or you're going to do it for her.
Come on.
Or you're going to do it for your sake. You're going to have to.
Come on, share this freaking live. It's 52 people.
Information with the rest of the world.
Yup.
They don't hear it, and you have these enablers saying it's okay to look like any and everything, but it's not. A girlfriend of mine, we go back and forth, and she said, I don't want to tuck because it makes cis people look comfortable. But to me, it's not about that. To me, when I had certain things, I wanted to hide certain things because I didn't want to be bothered with certain things.
Right.
And I felt like other people didn't need to be bothered with certain things. It wasn't about making them uncomfortable. It was about making me feel comfortable.
Boom.
So for this young individual to be on this platform giving you cross-dresser tees, it is very triggering for a lot of us because we see that, just like Nicole's saying, a lot of people are hopping on this gender nonconforming and or trans bandwagon when it's convenient for them.
Mm-hmm.
You see it on Grind. This person,
yes, they are,
is going to go for one of those Miss Things. So let me throw on this paint, and I'm going to put on this scalp, and now I'm going to put T.S. Jemiah on this profile. And it's like, Miss Thing, that's not you. For a lot of people, our life is cosplay. It's Comic-Con.
Come on.
And those same Comic-Con girls are the girls who get the platforms, who get the attention, who get the opportunities to speak on behalf of the girls who are willing to live and die and make sacrifices for their transness. But you have these Comic-Con people who don't really respect the journey, and it's just something for them to do, who later on in life make an article or make a video on YouTube or make a blog on why it was a mistake and why they want to go back and all this stuff. And now you're seeing all this information on people who say, why I decided to detransition. And it's like, but Miss Thing, that was never you from jump. And that's making other people say, well, if this person detransition, then it's only a matter of time before all of y'all do it, because all of y'all are fucked up.
Right.
But the shade was never them from the beginning. But they had the platform to speak on behalf of all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't okay.
Right. Right.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I felt some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
I felt some type of way because for a lot of them, it's a fad. Because when we was coming out, you knew, am I a 24-hour girl or I'm a bush queen up in...
That's right. That is.
And they make decisions. Now, if you like wearing lip gloss, you might be trans. You might be they, them, there. They don't give them the time to really say, I need to figure me out.
Right.
Now trans is the gateway term. And then you figure your nation, gender nonconforming, because a lot of us went through the androgynous gender nonconforming stage.
Right.
But it was a stepping stone, it's not our destination. A lot of people are now using this as their destination and not a stepping stone. Because years later, you may not want to be GNC, but you done got your birth certificate, passport. With Trump and all them girls in office, now you can't go back and get that shit changed. Because you will forever be an X. Because you thought GNC was your destination instead of a stepping stone. Girls didn't have the opportunity to explore themselves.
Nope.
Because everybody told them, if you feel different in any form, you're trans.
You're trans.
Exactly. A lot of them being androgynous has now become the identity instead of the aesthetic. Big Frida will still tell you, I am Big Frida, I am a gay man, but this is how I present. Big Frida don't say I'm a gender nonconforming. Big Frida say I'm a gay man.
Right.
Boy George said I was a gay man. Miss J and Miss Lawrence from Atlanta Housewives said that I am a gay man. This is how I dress. The 2010 children say I am an X. I am a gender nonconforming. Based off the aesthetic. When aesthetic you on the inside. And that's where a lot of the confusion comes in at. But it gets reduced.
Yup.
Passable. When passable is something many people won't attain in their lifetime.
Right.
When all of us won't be passable.
Right.
And that's okay.
Right. And that's
but how true time being. But let me get ready to get to work, and I'm gonna hit you up.
Thank you for coming on here, girl. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You have to come back again. You have to come back again. I love you, and I will see you soon.
Love you there.
See ya. I told y'all, I already knew what Tania was going to give. I already knew what she was going to give. That was everything. Thank you. Time on Trans Talk Tuesday. I have 4 people that want to come in here. My daughter has been waiting. She came off. Hold on. I just had to clear those out. Oh my gosh. She turned that. Please, everybody, share this live. There is a lot of education on here. I have had 2 guests already that are basically breaking down the differences, because these differences need to be broken down. Thank you, Tatiana. These differences need to be broken down, and we need to appreciate each other's differences more. Not like Tennille said, oh, you put on lip gloss or you wear earrings and automatically you're trans. No, it does not work that way. It does not work that way. Erica says, why Tennille don't talk like that when we hanging? That is my girl. Oh my gosh. I've had 2 lovely trans women of color who are intelligent on this live so far, that are like breaking everything down for y'all. And it was definitely a pleasure having both of them on here speaking about, you know what I mean? Like, you know, stop labeling everything trans or transgender. As for me, I'm saying this to the 46 people that are still on this live. To the non-conforming community, please create your own space and stand tall on your own before you're able to integrate with the rest of us. Because we've all had our turn in standing on our own and being independent. We've had to fight and scratch and claw for that and die for that. You know what I'm saying? We had to fight and scratch and claw for that. We're still fighting and scratching and clawing for that. But you guys have to come out and educate and become visible to the rest of us. You know what I mean? Braxton says, again, I am a man. I just so happen to be trans. Right. And you also have a journey. You know what I mean? You know, there has to be a journey from one thing to the next in order to transition. I'm going to give another analogy. Okay? If you're on 52nd Street and you're trying to get to 72nd Street, that's 20 blocks. You're either getting on a bus or catching a cab. What's that called? Transportation. Something to take you from one point to the next. That is why we have that prefix trans. Yes, Ray. Show us who you are first, non-binary. Yes. Because the rest of these letters that we have out here need some education on what it is to be non-binary. That was probably because I just got finished having a guest on. It's probably like echoing. I'm sorry for the echo for all of the P-pals. Somebody just sent me oh, this is Rachel. I'm getting ready to bring my daughter Rachel on. She's calling me. Hold on. I'm going to bring her on right now. This is my daughter Rachel. She's about to come on right now and say a few words. Where she at with all of the things. We're at her. There she goes in her gorgeous.
Hi. So I wanted to talk about privilege, right? When we look at Black trans women don't have the same privilege just to go down the street looking crazy that white trans women have, right?
I agree
because
with that.
Even if you was to take that person to the Bronx, because I heard that, they still wouldn't mess with that person, because you know why? They're white.
Because of the privilege that's attached to it. That's interesting.
Hey,
Yes, come
and
on.
they scared that they're gonna go to jail for matching. Right. Check that, right? Because I had a conversation with one trans woman who comes to the center, and I had to check her on her privilege. I said, look, you are Caucasian.
Yes.
Before you transition, you was a Caucasian man, right?
Right.
You lived a
Right.
certain life from the certain point, and you had certain privileges that I wasn't afforded and that my sisters were not afforded. So if you was to go down broader market, they're not gonna fuck with you like they may try to fuck with me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
and within being
Hold on.
person, oh, and not, they're definitely not in transition.
Okay. Yep.
You can they don't end up with dysphoria. In my opinion, I don't know if anybody can hear me. Did I freeze?
Yeah. You froze for a little bit.
I froze. Did I freeze? All right. They don't have any dysphoria. From what I see, I talked about they don't have any for this. Y'all hear me?
Nope. Nope. It's kind of like freezing.
Let me see.
Damn Facebook. See, they don't want no education to get out.
I froze a little bit. Okay, so can you hear me?
Okay. Yep, I can hear you.
Because that person doesn't have any type of dysphoria.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It's a dysphoria.
Okay, so that person doesn't have any type of dysphoria from what I can see. You know what I'm saying? To get up in front of
Yeah, it keeps freezing. Request. Yeah. Her thing was kept freezing. We're gonna get the momentum back up. But a lot of that stuff that she was saying was right. Had a lot of privilege. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, in some instances, even after they transition, they still keep a little bit of that privilege with them. Even though that they're in a marginalized community, they still carry a little bit of that privilege with them. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of what Rachel was saying was definitely right. Raymond says, can you define gender dysphoria again, please? Gender dysphoria is basically feeling that you, as a person, your body does not coincide with how you identify. Your body, how you were born, does not coincide with how you, in your mind, identify. You know what I'm saying? And when dysphoria happens, when you're living your life basically, and like something happens when your dysphoria happens when something does not coincide, basically. Like basically that person that has the bulge will mess with a lot of trans people, trans women who've been through that experience, and will mess with their dysphoria. Seeing something can trigger your dysphoria. Yes, thank you, Braxton, for posting that link, because that will break that down. Barbie says, so because you don't see it, it doesn't exist. Well, that depends on the person. But I just feel like how you identify should be matched with how you want to present. That is basically the simplest way that I can put it. How you want to, however that is, how you want to identify in your mentality should match with how you want to present. You know? No problem, Raymond. Yeah, so, basically, I'm not going to be able to get to my other two topics today. We're going to be talking about Texas and should outing be illegal. We're going to be talking about that next week. Tennille says your body and its characteristics such as arms, body, bone structure, etc. Because I actually kind of went over my time. But to all of the guests that came on, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on to Trans Talk Tuesday. I will be here again next week at 12:30 in the afternoon, 11:30 Central. If there are any people that are that feel generous out there, my donation link is in every one of my videos. You can find it at bit.ly/trans information with a capital T. If y'all don't help me, I can't help y'all. And this is where the resources and the dialogue and the education come in. Help me provide this every week. I'm going to be creating a website for trans information very, 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 very soon. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. And I will see y'all next week. Bye. Share this live. See you later.